Hi Scorpio and Scorpio rising. This is your November 2016 forecast. So happy birthday for those of you who are still having your birthdays, because of course the sun is in your first house until the 22nd of November. So this is a very powerful, vital influence. You're feeling physically confident, feeling self-assertive, you're very self-involved, but in a good way, because this is where, you kind of ground yourself in terms of determining what you need more of in your life in order to make progress. So when the sun is in the first house, you do have your first priority to yourself. So good time to move and shake, make a good impression on people. And of course, with the new moon on the 30th of October in your first house, this is a good time to reinvent your appearance. You can do a total wardrobe overhaul or, get a new haircut. So very good if you want to put your best foot forward and make an impression on people. So you can do this by changing up your physical appearance as well. That new moon is also going to be trining Neptune in your first house. So Sun, Moon, and Mercury trining the 5th. So very good for personal business projects, for creative ventures. So, you're going to be feeling really in touch with your feelings and, prepared to take the initiative, because the first house, the sun in this placement, can really move and shake. Mercury is going to help you communicate your ideas very effectively and articulately. And so very good, like I said, for personal business projects, creative projects, and just for general self-expression and fun. So you'll be thinking very imaginatively and artistically at this time. So use this energy to really get things off the ground in the first 2 weeks of the month. So Mars, your ruling planet, will be in your third house until the 9th of November. So it's been in Capricorn in the third house, very industrious with day-to-day affairs. It's been very good for if you need to sell yourself or your ideas. Mars is a very energetic planet, so very good for, making a good impression or a robust impression on people. So good for job interviews, good for selling yourself and your ideas. So, lots of energy there. And, after that, from the 9th of November, Mars is moving into your 4th house, where Mars is really going to be focused on getting the home in order. So Mars in the 4th likes to redecorate. It's very good for construction, remodeling, renovation. And, it can also bring up a little bit of conflict because of this, especially if you share your living space with somebody else. There could be some disputes about your remodeling arrangements or how you're organizing things. So Mars really here, though, driven to get things as comfortable as possible. And that includes the people that you live with. So they may not always see, the kind of focus of your scope of ambition at this time. But, just try and resolve those conflicts amicably. So Venus has been in your 2nd house, and as I discussed last month, Venus in the 2nd can spend a bit extravagantly, but it can also attract money to you. So Venus is going to be here until the 12th of November, so until the middle of the month. It's also good for connecting to other people, kind of heart to heart. And like I said, Venus likes all the good things in life, so probably a time where, you're wining and dining and really enjoying yourself. So this is a very good combination with the sun in the 1st house. So you're probably really getting out there, sampling the best that life has to provide, buying some new clothes and accessories, indulging in good food and wine. So enjoy it. It is your birthday month after all. So from the 12th of November, Venus is moving into your 3rd house, and here Venus is very good for making a good impression on other people. Venus is not as robust as Mars. It tends to attract things, but without necessarily having to make a special effort. So Venus in the 3rd attracts a lot of beauty and artistic kind of scenery into your life through day-to-day affairs. So it's also a very good time to incorporate beauty into your day-to-day affairs. So, and other Venusian things. So taking scenic trips to work, stopping off at the cafe and having lunch. Venus is going to give you a lot of social opportunities without having to make really much of an effort to engineer them. So Mars moving into your 4th, probably remodeling and redecorating in the 2nd half of the month. So that energy of Mars is really going to be constructively employed in terms of getting your home in order. Mercury in the 1st, very good for expressing yourself, communicating. But Mercury is also very active in the 1st. Mercury isn't just about speech, it's how you move and shake and hustle. So you're really able to sell yourself and your ideas. Your expression is more articulate than usual. And you're feeling a little bit restless. You may feel a little bit like you're jumping from one topic to another and you can't sit still. But really, this is the best time of the year for you to be moving and shaking. So don't waste the energy. Get things done. It's very good for business negotiations as well. So for opening contracts and business negotiations, your mind is going to be very clear and sharp. So Mercury is also going to move into your second house from the middle of the month. And Mercury in the second, this has your mind on resources and, how to make more money. So you're applying your mind to how to make things more secure, comfortable, and how to increase your finances. So, that sharp mind of yours is going to be applied into those avenues in the second half of the month. Moon energy from the 30th of October, the waxing part of that is running for the first 2 weeks of the month. So this is really a time of industry and activity. The new moon has the Sun, Moon, and Mercury trining Neptune in your 5th house, so it really puts you in touch with your feelings, and yours is definitely a sign where the gut instinct is strong to begin with. But Mercury is lending that ability to express yourself very well, to sell yourself, to sell your ideas, so very good for getting business projects launched, particularly creative projects, and because that trine to Neptune is very creative and artistic, so artistic business projects also good. So on the 7th of November, the Sun is sextiling Pluto, and Pluto is in your 3rd house, and the Sun is in your 1st, so this is quite powerful for making clean sweeps. So if you need to do a bit of house cleaning, or if there's something in your day-to-day affairs, routine communications, the way that you do things habitually that needs to be reformed, the Sun is going to put a spotlight on that, but it's an easy aspect, so you'll very easily be able to sort out problems that have arisen. So useful for cleaning up a situation, getting your house in order, and just allowing things to run more smoothly and efficiently from there on out. So the full moon this month is going to be in your 7th house. So the 1st house is all about me and my needs, and like I said, this is that time of year where you're entitled to be a little bit more selfish and self-invested than usual. But the 7th house is the house of all significant one-on-one interactions that we have. So with the full moon in this placement, it's about reconciling your needs with other people's. It's a bit of a give and take, sharing the spotlight a little bit. So taking other people's needs into account and, just finding that balance between self and other. So on the 19th, Venus is sextiling Neptune in your 5th house. And this is very creative and romantic. It does make one more sensitive to beauty and appreciative of art. Because the 5th house is the house of romance, this could be a very good time for a date. And, you're just going to be much more in tune with the needs of people that you're interacting with. The 5th house is also children, but like I said, romantic partners too. So, very escapist kind of tendency here, but in a positive way. So, seeking some kind of escapism through the delights of love. So see what you can engineer. So the 22nd and the 23rd are very good business days. We've got Jupiter sextiling Mercury and Mercury conjuncting Saturn. So Mercury and Jupiter together, helps you put all the pieces of a puzzle together. So it's big picture thinking. It's also good for Mercury. That element of speech is good for negotiations and discussions around business or any kind of personal enterprises. But Mercury conjuncting Saturn has a more serious flavor. It's very detail orientated. So if you need to get things down onto paper or draw up contracts, then these two elements can really bring that into being very well. So like I said, Jupiter, big picture, Mercury, speech, but then Saturn is really helping you be more serious. It's clear, precise, and logical. So getting all your facts together. So as I said, very useful for drawing up contracts and, taking negotiations into a more precise area, signatures and so on. So Jupiter is squaring Pluto on the 24th of November, and this is one of those aspects that really awakens ambition, and because Jupiter's in your 12th house, this could be something that you're keeping to yourself. It's a kind of drive for power. So you want to achieve mastery in your own life, you want to have power and you want to yield it. So for you, you could be hatching something in the background there, that's really going to be a push to see how you can really make an impact, how your unique talents and abilities can shine in the world. And perhaps you may decide to take a new course of study to initiate this, or some kind of private strategizing and agendas to get these things off the ground. But anyway, you're renowned for being resourceful, so I know you'll know what to do. So on the 25th, Venus is conjuncting Pluto in your third house. So Venus and Pluto together, very intense feeling aspect. It can really deepen feelings around, nearest and dearest. The third house is the house of neighbors and people you come into contact with daily. So it's not so much a love aspect for you as just making you more receptive to people in your day-to-day environments. So it's very good if you can find a mirror for your feelings there. It can make some people a little bit jealous and possessive though, so just watch out for that. So on the 26th, Mercury is trining Uranus from the 2nd to the 6th house. So the 6th house is the house of work, and Mercury is in the house of money. So a very industrious aspect here, potentially. Uranus helps you see novel solutions, and Mercury and Uranus together, it's a very electric, mentally stimulating aspect. So if a problem has been eluding you, then this could be with regard to finance or organization in the work, or even health. Then this is the aspect that's going to help you see your way out of the maze and find a solution that's very innovative. So use this mental alertness and, fresh thinking, inspired thinking, and put it to good use. So on the 29th, we have a new moon happening in your second house. So this new moon, the sun will be, the moon will be joining the sun in your second house. So the moon in the second and the sun in the second, this is the financial house. So you're focused on new income streams, how to make more money. And, it's generally speaking, the sun is quite conservative in the second house. You want to hold on to what you've got. But on the other hand, there's some difficult aspects with Neptune. The sun and the moon are squaring Neptune at this time. So this wouldn't be a good time to invest in any kind of risky endeavor. Neptune can often be misleading and misrepresentative, so things may look better than they are, and because your financial houses are concerned, you might lose a little bit of money. So wait for the fog to clear and, have all your ducks in a row and see how things really line up. So not a good time to make an investment right now. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this forecast, please like and subscribe. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, you can go to my website, www.psyche.co.za, to make a booking. Thanks for listening.